This is the index, children. The first chapter, Me as a Citizen. Second, Media and I, Part 1. Third, Visual Arts and I. Fourth, Media and I, Part 2. My Career and I. And sixth one, Performing Arts and I. So, with this index itself, you know how important it is for you. So, we start with me as a citizen. What is the meaning of a citizen? Just enlarge it. Me as a citizen. Here you can see this picture. If you have a textbook at home, you can see this picture. So you can see how this boy is helping an elderly person. He's also doing something that he feels it is his duty. He's picking up garbage and throwing it into a bag so that he can throw it into trash. Every responsible citizen adds to the strength of the nation. Not just a citizen, responsible citizen adds to the strength of the nation. The nation belongs to those who feel and perform the act, the duty that a nation is being called as a stronger one. So, if you are a responsible citizen, it is adding to the strength of the nation, or else it is just a heavy load on this planet Earth. And each and every one of us must understand that we have duty to perform, not just for ourselves but for our country, first for our family, and then for our country, and then for the whole human race as well as all the creatures that are around us. So it's our duty, and all this you know that picking up something that is being thrown or dropped by someone else, it shouldn't be why I should pick it up. It should be why should I not? So this is how with action we can show others the difference and we can change their perception too. Now your objectives have a clear view. What is the objective of this chapter? Why we need to have this chapter? Already you are learning in history, geography. So why especially in self-development? Because students should be able to explain the term citizen in their own words. Every time you keep saying, I'm citizen of India, I'm citizen of so and so, but you do not know what is the meaning of citizen. Secondly, identify the behavior of a responsible citizen. If you want to belong to a nation, you need to be responsible citizen, and you need to have a particular behavior for that. Describe the origin and need of rules in their own words. So you need to understand why rules are being made. So origin and need of rules. Explain the values underlying a democratic lifestyle and elaborate their importance in their own words. You need to explain the values, like why we need a democratic lifestyle. You know what is democratic lifestyle? Democracy, okay, for the people, by the people. So all those things. Analyze everyday incidents to identify the factors which could harm democracy. Everyday analyze means to think upon and to know the various facts, to know what has happened, what went wrong, what went good, and appreciate. And something went wrong, how can you be alert next time and avoid those errors? And be able to find ways and means to prevent such incidents from happening. So that is how you are going to correct yourself. Sixth, introspect whether interactions and environment in their home and school are in accordance with the values of democratic lifestyle. If not, plan for solutions to bring about a change. That is, if at all we were meeting in person as a class, then I would give you some time to introspect, that is, just think about interactions, about your actions with the environment in your home, okay, the atmosphere in your home, family life, and school. Is it going together, or at home the atmosphere says something and school atmosphere says something? That is, maybe your parents are saying something which is contradicting to all that what we teachers are saying. So with the values of a democratic lifestyle, if not, then we need to have a solution for it. So first we go on to know what is the meaning or the term citizen. Even if you know already, let us have a look at it, what self development teaches us the meaning of citizen. What does the term citizen mean? We hear the term citizen quite often. When you hear the words Indian citizen, what picture comes to your mind? That's right. Indian citizen, maybe something comes to your mind like, wearing a sari, wearing the dhoti kurta or something like that, because it's like we show that as a symbol. Which words come to your mind? Okay, like Indian citizen. Which adjectives come to your mind? Write in your own words, how should a responsible Indian citizen be? Now, this has to be something creative, something different, whatever you feel. Need not it has happened in the past and you have to follow the same. You can write in your own words, how should be a responsible Indian citizen be? You can also draw a picture of a responsible citizen. It's totally up to you, your creativity. So, citizen means a person who belongs to a certain land and he has to imbibe by the rules and regulations put upon by that nation. And following rules and regulations, it smoothens the way of life. So that's why when we call ourselves citizen of a particular nation, we also need to imbibe by its rules and regulations. We need to follow them. We cannot go against it. And we should be thinking always good for our nation, whichever land you belong. Now, we belong to India, so we are Indian citizens. So, each and every one of us must think that how I can make my India beautiful in my own ways. It need not be a small, it need not be a big one like that of a politicians or so on. It can be at our end. Whatever is at our disposal, how we can make our nation beautiful, how we can make our nation a little better by our thoughts and actions and by awareness brought about in our neighborhood, among our friend circle, family, and various places that you move about. So that's your homework. You need to find out and you have to write down, coin the term citizen in your own words. Next comes democracy in India. Democracy. What is democracy? Of course, it is one of the many ways of governing a country. So, you know, democracy, autocracy. So, democracy means government of the people. It is of the people. People elect their representatives, hence, it is indirectly their government. The government is actually the people who are the ones who have elected them, so they are responsible to this people, that is public. Government for the people. This government is being elected by us. It is for us, for our smooth functioning. All the rules and laws of a country are made for the well being of the people. So ultimately, the government is working for the people, and it's not that people are working for the government. So please understand that government is being elected by the people because we need a government to, so that the smooth functioning of a nation can happen. So it is that the government is working for us. Government by the people, the representatives are elected from amongst the ordinary citizens. Thus, in a way, it is a government by the people. These are not some supernatural powers, but they are the same ordinary people who were amongst us. And now they are capable to become representatives, and they can put forth our problems and bring out solutions for us, and that is why they are elected by us. So, therefore, the government should be of the people, for the people, and by the people. And we as public, we as people, should remind government their various functioning if at all they are laxed. So, it is our right. Of course, it is our duty to follow the rules and regulation, but it is our right also to question them when things are not falling in place as per the rules, as per the statements given by them. Hope you understand this, children. Now, next is, how is our government system different from some other countries? You're in standard 10th, you must be already aware about your neighboring countries. So now what you got to do is search information about the government systems of the following countries. Not any other US, UK, which you must be already aware. You need to find out about North Korea, Saudi Arabia, China. If democracy means government of the people, for the people, and by the people, why can't every person behave in the way he or she wants to? That is, we don't follow the rules. We behave anyhow. So you know what's going to happen. School has a timing. If everyone comes in their own time, whenever they want, and they leave whenever they want, so what's going to happen? So the next you will understand need for rules. So need for rules in our family life, school life, everywhere there are rules set up. It is only for the smooth functioning of us. If these rules are not laid, then there will be a mess, there will be all chaos created. So here I cannot show this activity, but just imagine I'm carrying a bag of chocolates and I'm putting it on the first bench and asking one of you to tell the others, come and collect the chocolates. What is going to happen? That's right. Within few minutes or seconds, I should say, all will just barge into that bag, and that bag will be not at in its place. Chocolates all helter skelter. Each one will try to grab how much you want. So that is how it has been. It's not that you are not getting chocolates at home. It's not that you can't afford it, but that's the way that we behave when something free is given. But I'll tell you here one of the incident that had happened, children. That is when I had gone for my empathy project. I was in the team of empathy project for, of course, strays, dogs and cats. So therein we talk about empathy. Empathy is how you feel, to put yourself in the shoes of the other person and to know how it feels. So same way we were going around in most of the schools explaining and making children understand that how these dogs, cats on street, any animal for that. Stray means they are not jungly, okay, they are not wild, but they do not have any owner, they don't have any house, shelter. So that's why we call them strays. So we try to bring awareness in those children that, see, you need to be empathetic, you need to feel for them. At least if you can't give them food and water, don't hurt them, don't injure them. Because it starts with fun. Okay? Cruelty is not seen as something serious towards these speechless creatures. So these children who are especially in the that is in on those who stay in the slum areas and various other places, also in good schools. So once you know this, they come across a small kitten or dog or whatever, if that intention is there of mischief and there is no caring there, there's no feeling of pain, then they go to any extent, they hit them with the stone, They try to kick them and all. And if at all the dog reacts and barks, and then it's gone, like, he will lose his life, because we human are powerful. We do what we want. We do not want to understand that dog can only bark, and that dog has got only mouth to bite. It has got no defense, like you and I got hands and legs to give a kick and slap. So all that he wants to do or she wants to do is with their mouth bark at you or come to bite or just gurr at you. So it's we who have to understand that it is not that they are coming to bite us because they are gone mad. It is we who are going mad, and we are doing all nonsense, not understanding their plight, their short life on this planet Earth. We make it more miserable for them, children. So think about it. So that's the incident when I went to Warsaw, one of the schools. That school had a special category children where they come from all the slum areas, rag pickers, and so on. Very, very minimal jobs. Like daytime, they go and do some minimal jobs for some mere amount, 5 rupees, 10 rupees, and then at night they come to this particular place where my co team members teach them to learn English, numbers. Okay, means to, because they do not go to school and they don't have any other means of learning, and they are so interested in learning that they come regularly. You won't believe there's no attendance, but the teacher, of course, all well to do and well educated, so they know each and every child. They know who's coming, who's not coming. So it's only when the child is too much sick, very, very sick, the child will be absent. There's no attendance, there's no register maintained, and there is no bell that you are late or the school is done, now you have to leave. The children come on time, believe me. They come on time, and of course, they leave late because they are interested and they keep on asking questions. So, in answering questions, the time passes by, but they do not expect anything. But when you give them one small chocolate, they are so happy for it. So it was a case where we kept the bag of chocolates open and we asked them to take. You won't believe, they are so reluctant and not ready. And one of them, like, you teacher, aap de do, aap baat do. So this is how they behave. They did not barge into that bag. They did not, try to snatch it from each other, but they were so well behaved, disciplined, and that was like, showing education over there. Real education was shown over there. What values they have learned. And when we insisted, one of the boys came up, since he kept seeing that teachers are requesting and nobody is ready to do the initiative. So he gets up, he comes, he takes a bag, he gives everyone one chocolate. And everyone is filled with happiness, saying thank you to him, thank you to the teachers. And not a single one saying, give ek aur de dena, or slowly, ek de dena. Not at all like that. And it was really happy, that happiness, because children were sincere. They are poor. They cannot afford one time's meal. They go hungry. They eat only at night, children. Daytime they are hungry. And sometimes some people feeling sad, feeling pity for them, they give something to eat for them. Sometimes they ask and eat. So this is how their life is. And seeing chocolate, they did not allow that insincerity to come up. So here it is. When all the chocolates are gone, discuss. Did everyone get the chocolates equally? So if it is in our class, definitely no. Did the students who take the chocolates know that there might not be enough chocolates for everyone? You just have fun. So each one goes and just grabs 4, 5, or how much they could. Did anyone take the initiative to ensure that the chocolates get distributed evenly? Not at all. Observe the following things about those who got the chocolates. So that I cannot do here, I need to have you in person. So we need to see what is the reaction. What were they sitting? So, sorry, where were they sitting? Now, observe following things about those who got the chocolates. So, definitely, see, this case can be very different. When I tell you, come and take the chocolates, the first bench children will be reluctant, while the last bench or any other will come rushing and just pick up the chocolates. Not necessarily. Sometimes it could be the first bench just put their hand and takes the chocolate, while the others are taking time to come and there are no chocolates. It depends on who is sitting where. Did the children sitting near the jar have an advantage? Again, depends on the situation. Did girls get lesser chocolate than boys? If yes, why? If no, why? What I feel is that they can get less chocolates because boys are rushing, so girls will stand little away. That's a normal tendency. That's why I'm saying. Or if you have dadagiri girls, they'll give one and they'll come forward, and in that case, this answer will be no. Okay. So, did the student sitting near the jar automatically have a greater right over the chocolates? Again, as I told you, depends on the children who are sitting on the first benches or close by. Okay, if they are very very proactive, they are naughty, or they just think of themselves, then definitely they will be having advantage, or else it will be the same situation that they are having no chocolates with them. So, with this, we understand that we need to always think not just about ourselves but about others too, children. We need to think about our action. Action always has reaction. Newton's law, third law, action, reaction. So, remember, anything that we perform, anything we intend to do, even we think something wrong, which is very, very aptly quick, that is bounces back with the reaction. So always remember to keep up your morals, to keep up your values sincere. And even when no one is watching, be sincere, because that is something which you are owning it, which you can proudly say that I am sincere in my work, I am honest. And you know what feeling you get. You feel so happy, and being sincere and losing is much better than being insincere and gaining. So, for today, that's it. Soon we shall meet, soon we shall have another video, and we will move forward. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.